Hey, black child, do you know who you are, who you really are? Do you know you can be what you want to be if you try to be what you can be?
Hey, black child, do you know where you're going, where you're really going? Do you know you can learn what you want to learn if you try to learn what you can learn?
Hey, black child, do you know who you are? Strong. I mean, really strong. Do you know you can do what you can do if you try to do what you can do?
Hey, black child, do you know you... Hey, black child, be what you can be.
Learn what you must learn.
And tomorrow,
Our nation will be what we want it to be.
Today we're celebrating Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is a celebration of first fruits, or first of the harvest of the year, okay? So first we're going to start off with the symbols of Kwanzaa. The first symbol of Kwanzaa, guys, is the mkeka, which is the mat. It is the foundation for everything that's going to go on this table. The mkeka is the foundation for everything that we do in our lives. Our foundation is what we do here now. It's our spiritual mind treatment. It's our learning. And if I want to backtrack one more time, Oshulande talked about ancestors. And I just want to give honor to my ancestors now and the ancestors that we all share. Ernest Holmes, I want to thank Ernest Holmes for having the foresight to write down his thoughts that we have something to study here at CSL. I want to give honor and reverence to Margaret, I can't remember her last name, Troward, all of those people. They had the foresight to write those things down so that we're able to study what we're studying now. Hello, spiritual mind treatment, every single day. That's what we do here. That's what we do to get ourselves together, get our minds right. And so for that, I am thankful, and that's our foundation. Oh, corn, please. Next, we have our Muhindi, corn. Corn is just a representation, all the mini kernels, it's just a representation of abundance. And also in your house, you have an ear of corn for how many children you have. If you don't have any, you just have one to represent hope for the future. Next is the Mazal crops. You got to eat. Enough about that. Okay. All right. Next, we have the Kukombi Shaomoja. This is our unity cup. You will use your unity cup to drink wine or water out of, whatever you're drinking for that day. If we were in a smaller setting, we will all sip from the same cup or just have a sipping motion just to symbolize unity. Next, we have the Zawadi gift. All right, parents, I'm going to step into the front. Okay, parents, Zawadi. Zawadi, we usually give books, handmade gifts, or whatever you like. But parents, it's for promises made and promises kept. Promises made and promises kept. We're not just haphazardly giving presents just 'cause. Yes, we had a good year. Yes, we're celebrating. But we need to reward consistency. We need to reward good behavior. We need to reward those things that are deemed positive in our community. Next, we have our Kanara candle holder. Next, we have the Mashuma Saba. The Mashuma Saba are the candles that go inside of the candle holder, the Kanara. We have the black candle, which goes in the middle, the red candles, which go to the right of the black candle, and we have green to go to the left of the black. It simply symbolizes the red is for the blood that our people shed, and it symbolizes the struggle. Black, of course, for the people. Green is for prosperity, growth, and hope for the future. When you light the candles of the Mashuba Saba on the Kanara, you light your black one, then you go over to your red, which symbolizes your struggle. Then you come over to the green, which is prosperity for the future. But we go from red to green Through hard work, struggle, you have progress. You have growth. So through struggle, progress. Through work, progress. Through work, progress. On and on and on. And then we end on green because that is what our hope for the future is. Progress, growth, right? I'm going to take these out because a little later, Miss Lydia, Septima are going to come up and explain a little more about the principles of Kwanzaa. But I have a gift for you guys, a celebrational performance by the Lancaster African Dance Ensemble from my school district. Yay! Wolambo masia, yin kalebo ela, sibo masia, he jalea, he. Wolambo masia, yin kalebo ela, sibo masia, he jalea. Come on, girls. Ah, jaleada, alaikum jaleada. Ah, jaleada, alaikum jaleada.
us about the symbols of Kwanzaa. Now we're going to light the kinar. So we start with the first candle, which is our unity candle. And we say, Habari Gani. You say, Umoja. And we start with Umoja. Umoja. Umoja is
Unity.
Hey, Umoja is unity. Our second Kwanzaa principle is the red candle. First red candle. We say Habari Gani. That's Kujichagulia. Kujichagulia. Hey, self-determination for you and me. Now, what color? Green candle. Our first green candle moves to the next principle for Kwanzaa. Habari Gani. Ujima. 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 Collective work and responsibility. Candle number 4, Habari Gani. Ujamaa. Ujamaa. Cooperative economics.
Cooperative economics.
What candle color?
Green.
Our second green candle. Habari Gani.
Nia. 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 Nia means purpose for you and me. Nia means purpose for you and me.
Kwanzaa principle number
6.
Those days run fast. What color
Oh,
is the
yes.
candle? Our last one. Habari Gani.
Kuba. Kuba is creativity. Kuba is creativity.
Principle number.
Shivi.
What we are founded on is Habari Gani. Imani.
Imani. Imani. Imani means faith for you and me. Imani means faith for you and me. Imani means faith for you and me. Imani means faith for you and me.
Completed the Kwanzaa principles. Every time after we finish with the principle, we say 7 times. Raise your hand up high. Harambe!
Harambe!
So now it's my pleasure to welcome up Michael Brundy. He's on our core council and is a pillar in this community.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Karen. Good morning, everyone. Community. So if I ask you if Kwanzaa principles apply to everyone, I bet you guys would give me the right answer and say, yes. See, you guys are easy. You guys are really easy. And they really do. And the one thing that I really like best about CSL is that here at CSL, we celebrate all types of traditions, philosophies, religions, whatever that new thought may or old thought may have been. So we've had celebrations for Christmas, for Hanukkah, for the winter solstice. We've had, the light of hope, the light of faith, and now we're at the light of community. And that's what I like best about here, that we will celebrate all of those. And I think one thing about, if you understand community, then understand that each of us as an individual, we're all a part of this whole thing that we call CSLDallas. So even though so far we've been coming up with winter solstice or Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, there's probably a few more traditions out there. And in this particular crowd, I think we have the responsibility to make sure that you bring those forward. So if you have a tradition or if you have one that we haven't been celebrating over the last umpteen years, bring it forward, okay? And maybe we'll get a chance to hear what you got to say, okay? I'm looking forward to that one, okay? Because I want to learn some new stuff. But today what you're going to learn about is Kwanzaa and how all those principles apply to everybody. And particularly for us, it's about community. If you were paying attention to those 7 principles, you would have noticed that most all of them had something to do with community. Either the way that we work together, we're responsible for each other, the way that it takes all of us to raise our children, all of those things is about community. And for you young folks, when I was a child, I told the kids this morning, the little poem that they did about Black Child, that was on my bedroom wall the whole time that I was growing up. Those of you who are out performing for the first time, dancing and jumping around in front of adults, that's where you first get a chance to learn to be a model, to be a ballerina, to perform in front of other people. The first time when you do those Christmas plays and you do your Christmas part and you do those pieces, those poems, those kind of things, that's what leads you to being a good leader, to being a good motivational speaker, a good minister, whatever. It all starts right there, and it starts there with our children. So it's really good to me that what we're doing today is also celebrating our children. So glad you guys were here, and you guys did a fantastic job. Fantastic job. Fantastic job. So if I got to talk, then usually I want to make sure that I'm on the same page as the people that I'm talking to. And you guys know that we're talking about light of community. So I like to make sure that we all know the same thing when we're talking about light, when we're talking about community, that we're just on the same page. So I'll tell you, I don't like to work real hard, so when I want to know something, the first place I'll go is to find the definition. And where are you going to go? Go to Webster, right? So Webster's really easy when it comes to community. A community is just a group of people who have something in common. They may stay in the same place. They may be of the same race, the same nationality. They may have the same attitude, but that's that community. All of us make up a community. Now, the definition of light, that's a little bit trickier. Because light has a whole lot of definitions, things that you don't even think about until you go look them up in the dictionary. You can light something, like light something on fire, light people when you ignite something, that's a light. Light can be how much you weigh or how effortless something is. Or light can be the way something illuminates, like a light bulb, the thing that we shine it on. So light of the community to me is kind of an interesting concept. So I started thinking, well, what's light? And it's a part of community and illuminates people and, sets them on fire and all that kind of stuff. And the only thing I could come up with is it must be talking about love. Love is what holds communities together. And I've been really blessed and really fortunate to be a part of a number of good communities and still am. And what I know is that when we give ourselves and that people give back to us, that is exercising love. That's community. And when we do that, boy, you can do a whole bunch more. Now, the next thing that I do when I get ready to talk, after finding out the definition, I know if I'm going to be speaking with some CSL folks, that you guys are big on, these PowerPoint things. So I knew that I'd have to have, some PowerPoint and have some slides up here so to keep your attention. So you have to bear with me for a while. I've got a couple of them, okay? And the first principle of Kwanzaa was about unity, and that's the main focus of community. It's when we come together as a unit. If you play football, if you're in service, anything, they always hear about divide and conquer, right? Because that's how you win. So the strength comes when we're together. When we're apart, that's when we're weak. That's the difference with that. And when we are in unity, then we have the strength. We have collaboration. Even on the job now, if you're in the business world, the big thing right now is how you can collaborate, how you can work with teams, how you can work with others. Because when you work with other people, then more things happen. Most of you guys know me, and you probably know that I'm a really smart, sharp guy. You know, I got a lot of great ideas. I can make a lot of stuff happen. But I can do a whole lot more when I'm working with somebody else. It just works like that. You know, where two or more gathered, you guys have heard that, right? That's where that strength comes from. So when we work together in unity, then things get better. I'm president of a lot of different organizations, and I always have the same old motto, no matter which group it is, and that's that we're going to make it efficient, effective, and make it easy. And the way that we do that is by each person does a little, then nobody has to do a lot. You know? And that's really simple. So if you're running a group of volunteer people, believe that one, okay? If each does a little, nobody has to do a lot. That's what it means when it says many hands make light work. Because when all of us are working together, the work gets a lot lighter, a whole lot lighter. Now, I want to make sure I take a moment and make sure that this applies to you guys, okay? Particularly to you guys. And I'm going to tell you something different that I didn't even tell at the first service because there's more of you, and so more of you need to hear this part, okay? You are going to get an opportunity to practice a lot of these things because we are expanding our space, right? We're about to add another 9,000 square feet to our space, okay? That means we're growing, guys. We're growing. And we were so powerful in our prayers and our coming up with this new space that we went past trying to buy a new place, went past trying to build a place down the street to having God put one right there behind us, right where it needed to be. And now you guys get to put your hands in there and be a part of the community and help us move forward with the new space. That's what community's about. That's how we get to apply some of that right back here, okay? So over the next couple of months, as you start to hear more and more about the building expansion, or you hear more and more about us trying to raise some money so that we can do certain things around here, make sure that you get a chance to be a part of that community. Got it? Okay? Now, I'll tell you how good that is and how important it is, okay? Look at the chair in front of you, and you will see somebody's name on it, okay? I've been looking for my name for the last 12 years that we've been in, and I haven't been able to find it. But you may get a chance to get a chair even and have your name on it. That's what we do when we come together, okay? It's community, okay? Imagine how good it's going to be when you can say, hey, I helped build this place, okay? That wall over there, I helped paint that wall over there. Okay? That's what it means when we're about community, okay? That's how you apply these same principles that are about Kwanzaa right here at CSL. And if the more of us that get involved, the lighter the work will be. Make sense? Yes. Got it. You sure you got it? Yeah. Okay, then you can go into the next one then, because this is one, just too cute, okay? When spiders unite, and we're like the spiders, okay? When we unite, they can tie down a lion. Something that small can be that powerful when it comes together, okay? It's the same thing with people, the same thing with groups of folks like us. When we come together, we are that much more powerful, okay? So if you want to go somewhere, if you want to go quickly, then go by yourself. You'll get there faster for sure. Because you can go a lot faster if you don't have people hanging around your neck trying to pull you down and all. But if you want to go a long way, you want to go far, then go with some other people, okay? That way you can have somebody looking out for you, somebody going to get some water for you, somebody feeding you or doing whatever. But when we work together, you can go a lot further. In our community, I am so proud. I can't see her now, but I know Shannon's here somewhere, and Andrew's here somewhere, and me. There are three of us, and three of us are marathoners, okay? And there are very few folks who can run 26.2 miles. They say only 1 in a million people do it, and at this place, we have 3. We've got somebody else's here, okay? But one thing that Andrew and I were talking about is that when you run with a group, something more powerful happens. See, when you train for a marathon, you only train to do 18 or 22 miles. That's as far as you do in your training. But you've got to run 26.2 miles. And I can remember talking to Shannon when she was running her first one, and the same with Andrew. And they said, well, how can I run 26 miles if I only trained to go 20? And what I told him is what happens is that when you get in that crowd, when you get with other people, like-minded people, people that think like you, then you can just go a lot further just on that adrenaline, just on that alone. It will take you another third of the way. You can be 33% better when you work with other people. Isn't that fantastic? Okay? So now all you guys don't have to be marathon runners, but just know that when you work with other people, that's how it happens, okay? Now for some of you, you may need to know this, okay? If you walk in the crowd, the crocodile won't bite you when you walk through the river, okay? Like any of you going to be walking through a river. But that's the power that happens when we're all together, okay? So you can take that one to the bank, okay? And my favorite one is this one, that Ambutu, okay? It means I am because we are, okay? I am because we are. If you've ever been successful and got a big promotion or got a raise or maybe you got a trophy because you won a race or did anything, it's always better and sweeter when you can come home and tell somebody, look what I did. See, I won. It's always better if you can share with someone else. That's just the way the world is. It works better when we share. So I am only because you are. I don't even know that I look so good until you guys tell me. I am because you are. See, I am because you are. But the same thing applies to you too, guys. That's how it is with us. We are a community, okay? Look around. We're a very diverse, loving, transformative community. This is a different kind of place. You don't get a chance to go celebrate Kwanzaa everywhere on a Sunday morning. You don't get a chance to all of a sudden find out how you can bring those new principles into your life and how you can use them. And if nothing else, you got a chance today to learn more about how you can bring the idea, the principle of community into your life, how you can practice them. You've been a good community because you've made a difference in some young people's lives. Some of these young kids will remember years from now that they came here to CSL and somebody encouraged them. Years from now, one of these young ladies will remember that, and they may be somebody that will be, who knows, your next Secretary of State, your next president, who knows? When you inspire a child, you have no idea how you may be changing the world. No idea. I was fortunate enough to grow up in a loving, loving community, okay? Up until 4th grade, just between us folks, okay? I went to an all-black school. I didn't really know white people existed up to 4th grade. It just was not a part of my world. Everybody I knew was black, and it was all a part of the same community. They were at my church. They were on the baseball team. They were at school. My school teachers, the fire department, they were all in that one community. That's all I knew. So to me, it was just, there were no boundaries. My teacher would also be at Sunday school. And if I messed up there, then I couldn't play on the baseball team. They all came together. It wasn't until much later that I learned that they were all working together and working cahoots to make sure I went to the right college and got the right degrees and the right scholarships and did all those things. I didn't have a clue, but that's what was going on. After 4th grade, my family moved to the other side of town, and all of a sudden now, I was the only black kid in an all-white school. Okay? So then my whole world turned out to be all white now instead of all black. That was a shock, okay? But it was also my new community, okay? I learned that if I got involved, if I participated and got in Boy Scouts and I did things, then that could be my community too. By the time I got to junior high in our small town, all the schools came together. I had a traumatic summer that year because I didn't know how my black friends were going to deal with my white friends or none of that stuff. They came together at junior high and they solved it all for me, you know? And I ended up having the best of friends because that's what community means, okay? And I've learned that having those people and working with all kinds of different people, that's where strength is. That's where we get our strength. And that's what we have here at CSLDallas. We have that strength because of that. Okay? So that's something that we should make sure that we appreciate, okay? So make sure that you got a couple of things, okay? It's about Kwanzaa and about community, okay? And community, and you've done a big part today because you've helped out and you've encouraged some children, and that's a big, big deal. And you're going to even do more tomorrow because later on when Reverend Karen and Reverend Petra and Randy Craig and those folks start coming to you about how can you help out with the building expansion, where can you give, you're going to think, oh, I want to be a part of that community, and you're going to give even more because you're going to be practicing those principles of Kwanzaa. Is everybody with me? You got it. You sure you got it? Okay, because I only have a certain amount of time that I can talk to y'all. And if y'all don't get it sooner or later, I got to sit up and shut down, okay? But you got it. It's about community, folks. And as a community, just like with running, we can go a lot further together than we can go apart, okay? One stick will smolder, but you need a whole bunch of us to really make a good fire. One stick will break, but all of us together, that's a tight bundle. We won't break it all. Together, we can do great things. And that's my future for CSL Dallas. Hey, Kwanzaa, Harambe! 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 Good. I only go with 3. Hey, so now let's do our CSL thing. Let's pray. With closed eyes and bowed heads, we take a deep breath and we simply give thanks. We give thanks for this day. We give thanks for our community. We give thanks for all of those who are with us and those who wish that they could be with us. We give thanks for those who put together our Kwanzaa celebration today, those who had the foresight to make sure we included the kids, the children. We give thanks for those children, knowing that they are our future. The way that we love and encourage them will make a difference in how the world looks tomorrow. Right now, we give thanks for those 7 principles of Kwanzaa, especially those principles that refer to unity and community, those principles that remind us that we are all one, those principles that remind us that we all come from one source. And we all are people here, spiritual people having a human experience, and we can do so much more when we come together. We know and we believe in these principles, and because of that, we're more than willing to ask for more in our life, more love, more compassion, more expansion of our territories. And because of what we believe, we know this is true, and we are thankful even before we ask. We are thankful for each other. We are thankful for our community. We are thankful because we are so, so blessed. And if you agree with me and if you feel the same way too, then I encourage you to join me as we say together, and so it is.